Oh, I think we're up and running. Woohoo! Woohoo!
Look at that. You see,
go.
like all it takes is
go.
just a little teamwork.
I know. Teamwork makes the dream work. And, it says excellent connection, and we are up and running. All right, now I feel so much better. Sorry for that. Feel free to, we're going to edit all that out when the DVD comes out of this episode.
Look, he even has a nice thumbnail and everything.
I know,
like,
I got a thumbnail,
man.
and it's a whole thing. So, hey, Sean, what's up, man? Good to see you. Mean Bean. Yep, wrong hole. Exactly. Thanks for joining the chat for the first time.
Hey, phrasing.
Yeah, that's quite a statement to make at your first time in the chat. But
It's a little spicy.
I know.
It's a hot coffee.
I appreciate your boldness. Okay, so here we go. Let's take a look at what we're going to be talking about here. As I said, Derek, you got the key storylines, and for me, it's injuries and it's also bye week. So here, who's on the bye? Well, I'm glad you asked. You got Travis Kelce, Patrick Mahomes, A.J. Brown, Jalen Hurts, all the Miami Dolphins. They are currently on bye. You also have a game currently ongoing in Germany between the Colts and the Texans. You also got a couple of returns. We're going to talk about James Conner and Kyler Murray in just a second. But the big story for me is Ja'Marr Chase and T. Higgins. Ja'Marr Chase listed at 50-50 to play today against the Texans. Yeah. T. Higgins is out. Listen to what the reports are on Ja'Marr Chase. If they say he's going to play, you got to start him, right? You're not going to put him on the bench.
No, you're not going to put Ja'Marr Chase on the bench, but it is something that you've got to check, and you're really not going to know until probably about 12:30 Eastern time. So you've got to make a quick decision. You've pretty much what I would have in my head right now is you're going to start Ja'Marr Chase right now. You would have him in the lineup. You hear at 12:30 that he's not going to play, then you already have a backup in mind that you're going to automatically replace him with, because you cannot waste any time. They play at 1, right? So they
are 1 o'clock kick. And here's the thing. So if Ja'Marr Chase, we already know that T. Higgins is out. So I have T. Higgins. I immediately picked up Trent Irwin. I think that's the kid's name, from the Cincinnati Bengals.
Yeah.
The last time that T. Higgins was out, Irwin played 76% of the snaps. So that is an option. I would actually pick Irwin over Boyd. If I had to choose between the two, I just think Irwin has a little bit more juice than Boyd. However, what I did pivot to, I ended up pivoting to Curtis Samuel over Irwin. So that's what I end up doing as a T. Higgins owner.
I think your thought process was good there, because the Texans play receivers, especially in fantasy, really well this year. So I think that, it would have probably either been Irwin or another choice. I don't think Samuel's a bad pickup.
Yeah. Hi, Jody. Hi, William. Good to see you guys over on YouTube. Appreciate that. Okay, so once again, pay attention to what those injury reports say, what is coming out of all the insiders. But one thing that I did see was that it appears that Ja'Marr Chase is going to play, that's trending right now. But again, listen to it. Read those reports, check him out, because he's going to be a true game time decision. So you got that to deal with, and then obviously the bye weeks. If you have Jalen Hurts, if you have Tua, if you have Patrick Mahomes, if you're looking for a streaming quarterback option, as we kind of go through some of the storylines here, guess who has the second most passing yards in the NFL?
Sam Howell.
You got it. Someone read the research.
Now come on, chat. Give me my flowers.
Yeah.
Give me my flowers. We didn't rehearse that or anything.
No.
That was a complete guess.
That is true. It is Sam Howell, of the Washington Commanders. He has the second most passing yards in the NFL. And if you're looking for a streaming quarterback option with all those quarterbacks, especially the high point earners that are on bye, you could do a lot worse than Sam Howell, who is in a Yahoo league. In Yahoo leagues, he's still only 75% owned. So depending on the size of your league, depending on how sharp your opponents are, Sam Howell is a great streaming option and might be a really good season-long option moving forward.
Yeah, I actually thought about grabbing him, because in my 12-man league, there is not like a position player to really go for at this point.
Yeah.
I mean, it's bare bones.
Yeah.
And I have Cam Akers on the IR on my bench. So it's like, do I grab a third QB because I already have Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott? See, the problem is sometimes you can have too many players, and then you get into those decisions where you've got too many guys to choose from, and then it gets it. So I'm kind of going to stay away from it, but I don't think Sam Howell would be bad at all. Don't forget too, we're gonna be looking at receivers and things as well, because guys like Cooper Kupp and Puka are going to be out today because they're on their bye week as well.
Yeah,
I mean, there's a lot of high-powered offenses that are on bye weeks this week, so.
Yeah, and the Washington Commanders are on the road against the Seattle Seahawks tonight. All right, this afternoon. Okay, so you got a couple of, speaking of injuries and guys coming off injury, you got 2 Arizona Cardinals that are coming off injury, long-term injuries. One really long-term. Kyler Murray returns for the Arizona Cardinals as they take on the Atlanta Falcons, and also James Conner is back. And can I tell you that James Conner, who was on the IR with a knee injury, I don't recall a player of his stature having less information about his particular knee injury in the history of the game. I mean, we just said it was a knee injury. I don't know which knee it was. I didn't read on what part of the knee was injured, but at any rate, he's back. So, how do you feel, Derek, about Kyler Murray, James Conner returning for the Cardinals, particularly from a fantasy perspective?
I'm higher on James Conner as far as just from a fantasy perspective. James Conner is actually a fantasy dog, and I can't really explain it or anything like that because he was not great with the Steelers, and then he came over to Arizona, and it's like this dude has been great since he's been in Arizona. He plays well. I had him last year. He helped me win a fantasy championship. So, and he played well at the beginning of the year here before he got hurt. So I'm higher on James Conner. I'm just not big on Kyler Murray. Now, for fantasy purposes, because he has that added capability of getting those rushing yards and getting rushing touchdowns, those sorts of things, fantasy, he's a viable option. Am I starting him this week against a pretty talented secondary for Atlanta, with Jesse Bates and AJ Terrell, guys like that? I would honestly probably stay away from Kyler, but I think he's worth a flyer to pick up, especially if you need quarterback help.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I would start him this week.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm trying to fix your camera here. This is crazy. I mean, it's annoying me how off center it is. There we go. Hey, getting there. Hey, no, not quite. Not.
I need to move this way.
No. Your other way. The other way. All right, that's just gonna have to do. Okay,
oh my gosh, what is going on right now?
I know. All right, so James Conner, more than likely not available in any league, depending on the size and how quality your competition is. But my expectations for him today against the Atlanta Falcons, who have a pretty good rush defense, probably tempered a little bit. But depending on your lineup and depending on what needs you have with injuries and IR and bye weeks, you're starting him. I'm starting him. I don't know what to expect, but like I said, I'm keeping my expectations low. I have Kyler Murray in 2 teams. He's available in 47% of ESPN leagues right now. I am not starting Kyler Murray today because I have Lamar Jackson. Now, yes, I do know that the Ravens take on your Browns, a very nasty, nasty defense. But I'm going to hold off on Kyler Murray because I just want to see what he looks like, how much rust he has. So I'm not trusting him this week. But I do think that is a great segue into our next topic. Oh, my God. Look at this. See, this is why. Here we go. There we go.
What?
This is why we have.
I said check every slide before we.
Well, I mean, we signed on. You signed on at like 10:55.
I did.
Okay, so that brings us to our next segment: him or him. We're going to give you 2 players. We're going to tell you which one we would like moving forward, not just today, but for the rest of the season as we wind down the regular season and get ready for the fantasy football playoffs. So our first topic is, I think this is a good one, Joshua Dobbs against Kyler Murray. Who are you taking, Derek, season long for the rest of the season? Joshua Dobbs or Kyler Murray?
Bro, listen, you know I got to rock with my man, Mr. Dobbs, all right? He's him. He's Timothy, okay? He put the team on his back last week to come back, all right? Put the team on his back. And I feel like, honestly, they played pretty well in Arizona, especially the first couple weeks on the offensive side of the ball. Once they lost Connor and, they had some injuries, it kind of went a little bit downhill. But they weren't a good team to begin with. The Vikings have weapons. And you've got to remember, Justin Jefferson's going to be coming back here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So I would go Dobbs in this scenario.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm looking at the Vikings schedule. So they got the Saints, a pretty good defense today. Then they take on the Denver Broncos. Their defense is bad. The Bears, They got a bye week. Then they take on the Raiders at the Bengals. They play the Lions twice in the final 3 weeks of the regular season. As for the Cardinals, Falcons today, Texans, Rams, Steelers, bye, 49ers defense that can be had, and then 2 road games at the Bears and at Philly. I think in a season-long playoff format, I would trust Joshua Dobbs as a quarterback in a fantasy playoff game over Kyler Murray, depending on what your schedule is and how long your regular season is in your league. I think if you're asking me to start Kyler Murray in Chicago on Christmas Eve or go to Philadelphia in a playoff game for the fantasy championship, I might go Joshua Dobbs in that scenario.
I'm definitely going Dobbs in that. That's a good thing to look at, too, the schedules. Dobbs has some easier opponents coming up that he could have some pretty big weeks.
Okay, let's go to another one here. Him or him? Tank Dell or Jordan Addison of the Minnesota Vikings?
This is a good one.
Yes.
This is a good one.
Who are you taking for the rest of the season in a fantasy league? Tank Dell or Jordan Addison?
Let me ask you this one first. No, you're going first on this one. You're going first because this is your guy right here. This is your guy, Tank. I got to hear it from you. Who are you going with?
I might go. I think I'm going to go Jordan Addison, and I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Now, Nico Collins is not going to play for the Houston Texans today, but your C.J. Stroud is really good, and he does a good job of distributing the ball. And I think that there's almost becoming a case of too many mouths to feed. He likes throwing to Nico Collins when available. He loves throwing to Dalton Schultz when he's out there. And I think Tank Dell would rank 3rd behind that if you're talking those 3 players. So Jordan Addison, last 3 games, he's averaged over 14 fantasy points. Taking on the Saints today. By the way, the Saints have only allowed 1 receiver to have 100-plus yards this season. But despite the tough matchup today and Justin Jefferson coming back, I think I would like Jordan Addison for the rest of the year.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go the other way. I think I'm going to go with Tank Dell. And honestly, it's what you just said. I think him and C.J. Stroud have a connection. I mean, I don't know what it is. They're both rookies. They both come in together. They both put in the work together. And, I mean, you guys saw who he trusted in crunch time. 46 seconds left last week. It was Tank Dell.
Yep.
So it's one of those things where I think that is going to continue. And then exactly what you just said. One, we just talked about it. They have Dobbs there, but that's still not Kirk Cousins. So we're going to see how this plays out when they bring Justin Jefferson back. Then you have Justin Jefferson coming back, who is the clear number 1. And when that happens, for some weird reason, all of the other Vikings receivers turn into 2s and 3s no matter what, where I feel like Addison is like a little bit better. Like he's right underneath Justin Jefferson as far as on their depth chart, as far as talent. But it doesn't always play out that way when Justin Jefferson comes back.
Well, with Addison, all you need is 1 deep shot.
But yeah, exactly. And that's the thing is
140-yard touchdown, 160-yard touchdown.
He turns into more of that big playmaker opportunity type of guy.
Yeah.
I can relate it more to like Deshaun Jackson a few years, back during his heyday when he was just, he was either going to get 4 catches for 40 yards or he was going to get 5 catches for 150 and a touchdown or 2 because, he caught an 80-yard bomb. So it's one of those things where that's where I'm kind of putting Addison, whereas Tank Dell, I think, is consistently going to be getting anywhere from 6 to 9 targets the rest of the year guaranteed.
Okay, just
every game.
2 more, and then we'll get to your questions here. I see you guys have some both on Twitch and on YouTube, so keep firing away, but stand by. We got 2 more here. Him or him? Jerome Ford or Kareem Hunt from your Cleveland Browns?
Cleveland Browns.
All right, what do you got?
I am going Kareem Hunt.
Okay.
And the reason
I'm
for
assuming
this,
if the PPR you're considering from PPR perspective.
yeah,
right?
we always consider from PPR. But if
Okay.
you guys have questions that aren't PPR, just let us know.
Yeah.
But I'm going Kareem Hunt, and it's really based off of the fact that Jerome Ford just hasn't been great running through the tackles. He's good for a big play every now and again, but he hasn't been great running through the tackles. And we even saw last week where Kareem was getting more of the more significant carries, and then like they brought Jerome Ford in when they were in garbage time with 2 minutes left, and he was running the ball still. So it's one of those things where I think they're gradually going towards Kareem Hunt. And let me throw this out there for you too.
Mm-hmm.
Over Jerome Ford, you might want if you need a running back, you might want to look at Pierre Strong. They were getting him some more touches last
Okay.
week, and he might be taking some of Jerome Ford's touches here soon.
I think for me, it's. I think I will lean Jerome Ford just because I think the floor. I think his floor is more consistent than Kareem Hunt. Now, if something changes,
I can respect that.
Yeah, so I might go Jerome Ford. Also, keep an eye on Deshaun Watson. He played pretty well last week. I want to see how he does moving forward.
This is the test.
Yeah,
no, this is the test
a good
this
test.
week.
This is the test. All right, lastly, two more running back teammates from my Houston Texans, Devin Singletary, Dameon Pierce. Let me start here by saying, wow, my camera is crazy.
Pierce is out this week, by the
Yeah,
way, but that's
Dameon
not
Pierce
a
is
long-term
out. Now,
thing.
again, this is a him or him question moving forward for the rest of the season, not just this week. I would try to stay away from both of them. Dameon Pierce has been largely underwhelming this season after a pretty good rookie season. A big part of that is his offensive line. The Texans' offensive line is a hot mess. They've struggled with injuries. They've struggled to run the ball all season. So I'm staying away from both of them. But if I had to take one, I'd go Dameon Pierce. What about you?
I am going Devin Singletary. They have gradually gotten him more carries even when Pierce was out there. And I think he's a better option as far as catching out of the backfield for them. So it's one of those things where if they're going to gradually give him more of the carries, and if he has better opportunities on third down and can catch the ball out of the backfield a little bit better, I don't see why I wouldn't. Now, again, the Growflow said the offensive line isn't great. But at the same time, when you've got a guy like C.J. Stroud, that might open up some things here because I think defenses are gonna start to respect that, and we're gonna start seeing less in the box and less 6, 7, 8 man fronts for CJ going forward.
All right, so there you go. Let me just send this out. Okay, so let's get to your questions now. We've got a few here. We've got more camera issues here. So weird. Standing by. Hey, look at that. Look at that. I'm right back in the middle. There you go.
Right back at it.
Okay, why don't we start with, let's go to YouTube first. We got a few people here on YouTube. William.
Yeah, I'm liking the YouTube vibes over here. Let's go. Make sure you hit the
William.
like button too.
Yeah, like, subscribe, the whole thing. William asking on YouTube, Mahomes is on a bye. Do I start Kyler Murray or Brock Purdy? The 49ers have lost 3 in a row. Brock Purdy has not
Coming
played.
off a bye week.
Coming off a bye week. I'm going to go Brock Purdy there. What about you?
Is Debo coming back this week? Or
Yes, Debo is coming back.
So Debo is back, and I think Trent Williams is back as well. So they're fully healthy again, coming off the bye week. Jags are coming off a bye week as well. So we'll see how that turns out. This is actually a good question because I have a question between Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott. I don't know who to start this week because Dak plays the Giants. So I'm going to try to figure that out. But as far as those two are concerned, I would go Brock Purdy for sure.
Okay. I would go, like I said, I would go Brock Purdy just because I want to see what Kyler Murray looks like. When a running back has an ACL, it almost takes 1 full year. In that second season, he's back to himself. Kyler Murray, obviously, when we saw him healthy, he uses his legs a lot. I want to see how much he's running once he returns. Corey Smith says, I miss Matty V and D-Row on MLB The Show. Wrong stream, Corey, but that's great. Thank you for weighing in. Slick says, should he start Kyler Murray over Trevor Lawrence in that same game, Niners-Jags? I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence because I think you're starting to see Trevor Lawrence use his legs a little bit more. He's been a little bit underwhelming for me as a passer, but if I'm getting some rushing yards and he's going to do that a little bit more, I'll go Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, they have a tough matchup this week, but again, both coming off a bye. I'm going to go Trevor Lawrence as well.
Okay. Hey, JH, how you doing, man? Thanks for being a sub. Captain Trips, who should he start? James Conner or Najee Harris? Ooh.
Oh, man. You guys know I'm not a believer in Harris, so I'm going to go James Conner all day on that one.
I think I'm going to go James Conner as well. I wonder what James Conner's volume is going to be like. I really wonder what James Conner's volume is going to be like today. Again, not a great matchup against the Atlanta Falcons, who do have a pretty good rush defense. Speaking of the Atlanta Falcons, this is neither here nor there. But damn it, can they give the ball to Bijan Robinson?
Oh my gosh, you're not the only one saying
Good
that. I
grief.
promise you.
Unbelievable.
I promise you. I've got Tyler Algier on my bench, and it's like every week I see this dude have a touchdown, I feel like, and I'm like, where is this coming from?
Yeah, and look, we heard Arthur Smith's comments this week saying that Tyler Algier might be a little bit better than, kind of a goal line runner than Bijan Robinson.
Yeah, it's starting to seem like he's going to get the scoring opportunities more than Bijan, which doesn't. I mean, you grab Bijan because he's such an explosive playmaker, so I don't really know why that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on down there.
Speaking of the Niners, not directly impacting fantasy leagues, but Trent Williams of the Niners, as Jay mentions, is a very, very questionable to play today. So obviously that could have an impact on what 49er ball carriers and pass catchers have to do. Hi, Captain. How you doing? Slick, good to see you guys. What's up? Good to see you. Okay, Captain again. All right, Jody says, thanks for being a sub, that he put Joe Mixon in the flex because of his wide receiver problems. Hey, man, that's a great luxury to have.
That's not a bad call. Rizzle says Kincaid or Kittle.
Ooh.
Oh,
I think
man,
I might
you guys
go.
are coming with the heat.
I think I might go Kincaid there. Is that blasphemous?
No, I don't think it's blasphemous. This is because they're playing Denver.
Yeah.
Man, Kittle has been hot lately, but Debo's coming back.
Yeah, I'm taking Kincaid there.
I'm gonna take Kincaid as well. Yeah, I'll take Kincaid as well.
Yeah. Once again, I hyped him a couple of weeks ago, and now he's inside the top 10. Let me see how much Trey McBride of the Arizona Cardinals filling in for Zach Ertz. Target monster a couple of weeks ago, fell back down to earth last week. But
I mean, that was against the Browns.
Yeah,
so.
and obviously against the Browns. So Trey McBride, he's available in 42% of leagues right now. So if you're in a pinch, we all know that the tight end position has been really, really problematic. Then Trey McBride could certainly help you here. Let me take a look here. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. Hold on. Someone mentioned George Pickens. I think we're approaching the time where George Pickens might be droppable. Depending on the size of your league and what your roster looks like. But consider that George Pickens, I think I read this a couple of days ago. George Pickens has run the second most deep routes in all of football. Meaning the Steelers they just put him on go routes. Just go deep. just go deep, bro. Which is awesome. But Kenny Pickett has completed 2 deep balls all season.
It's the hands, man. It's the hand size.
I mean, so yeah, it's almost time where George Pickens might be droppable.
And I mean, after the diva attitude that he had the other week too, where they won the game, but he was mad that he had one catch. I mean, it's starting to come to a head over there, I think.
Rozelle, thanks for being a sub. Breece Hall or Gus Edwards?
Ooh, la 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 la.
That's a good one. That is a good one.
Gus is playing my Brownies today.
Yeah.
Who do the Jets play?
The Jets.
They play the Raiders. I'm going Breece Hall. I'm going Breece Hall.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Breece Hall there. I think Breece Hall, despite that offense being so god-awful, Breece Hall is the one guy Him and Garrett. If you have Garrett Wilson, you're starting him.
Yeah,
If
those
you
are
have-
the two startables
yeah,
on that team.
Brees Hall. I mean, he's one. No matter where he's at in the field, no matter where the Jets are at on the field, he's a home run hitter. So you're going to start him, and you're going to start Garrett Wilson. And speaking of Raven running backs, Keaton Mitchell of the Baltimore Ravens, he was a waiver wire darling. Where are you on Keaton Mitchell as the Ravens take on the Browns? I picked up Keaton Mitchell this week. I am not starting him, but he is a player that you want to keep an eye on because he has earned more opportunities. And yes, I know the history of Raven running backs as it pertains to fantasy football, but I'd keep an eye on Keaton Mitchell because I think he's going to be a factor at some point.
Yeah, I wanted to grab. So I was a little mad this week. My first waiver wire order was for him, and then my second one was for Noah Brown. And for some reason, they ignored my first order and went with Noah Brown first, and then somebody else behind the waiver wire order got him. So I was a little upset about that because I did with Mitchell. I don't think he's going to be great this week.
Yeah.
He was questionable all week.
Yeah.
He is expected to play, but he was questionable all week, and it is the Browns. I think this is going to be a better game than the first one was, that's for sure. So I'm at the point where I think that he's a good pickup for the future, and I think that they really do like him. I mean, Lamar Jackson was hyping him up. For this week, I don't know if it's the move, though.
Yeah, he was been dealing with a hamstring injury. He is expected to play today against the Browns per Ian Rappaport. Gus Edwards is if you have to pick a lead back, he's still the guy. But Keaton Mitchell, maybe he emerges as a flex option for you moving forward. Okay.
100%. That's the way I'm looking at it.
Isn't he the same one whose dad was an undrafted free agent for the Ravens? Is that true? Keaton Mitchell's dad? Is it really?
I don't know. That's crazy. If it is, that's crazy.
That is crazy because I think Keaton Mitchell, was he also undrafted?
Yeah, he was an undrafted.
Let me see here. Let me Google this here.
Guy.
Mitchell.
Quick Google search. Didn't hurt anybody.
Anthony Mitchell is his father. Keaton. Yeah, second generation Raven. Keaton Mitchell follows his father in the footsteps. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Two undrafted guys in the same family. That's crazy.
Good for them. Good for them.
That is.
Hi, Timmy. Good to see you, man. All right, so if you got a couple more questions, fire away. But in the meantime, let's take a look at
Dalton Kincaid or Evan Ingram over here on YouTube from Brooks.
Ooh, Brooks. Thanks for joining, man. That's a really good question.
That's a good question. I think Kincaid has the better matchup. I'm an Evan Ingram owner, so I have him personally.
Yeah.
He's been pretty consistent as far as points. It hasn't been anything crazy, but he's been getting anywhere from. He has not had less than 5 targets since week 1. He hasn't had less than 7 targets.
Yeah.
I mean,
I tell you what, Brooks, that is a great question there, my man. And
do you start both? I mean, I guess it depends on who you have.
Yeah, I'd love to see what the rest of his roster looks like before I mean, you talk about going out a limb, starting 2 tight ends. But I think the separator here is the matchup. And the Bills against the Broncos, that's a much more advantageous matchup on paper as opposed to the Jags taking on the Niners.
See, the only thing I worry about with those matchups, though, is a lot of times this year at least, those games have been blowouts early, and then these guys don't play. Yeah. Whereas, the Jags-Niners game will probably be pretty good. So they're going to be – that might be a tooth and nail, till the end of the game type of thing. So that's another thing that you've got to think of. I'm going to go Evan Ingram. Okay. I don't have a flex spot. I had Foreman Thursday. Okay, that makes sense. Foreman had 80 yards and a touchdown too, so that definitely works. But if it's me, I know Dalton has the better matchup, but I'm going Evan Ingram this week. They're coming off a bye. Him and Lawrence have been really clicking the last few weeks, so I'm gonna just stick with that formula.
Okay, so one game is already in progress, and on behalf of the entire United States of America, I'd like to apologize to the people of Germany for having to witness this god-awful display of American football. It is 7-3 in the fourth quarter. Get out of here. The lone score, the only touchdown has been Jonathan Taylor of the Indianapolis Colts. Okay, let's start with the let's start with the picks here. Here we go. If you got more questions, again, here we go with my webcam. I had to restart.
Timmy Turner says James Conner, Tony Pollard, Kenneth Walker. I have to start 2 running backs, switch 2, or put all 3. I have 1 at flex.
Tony Pollard. Pollard has yet to score a rushing touchdown this season. That's crazy.
I'm a Tony Pollard owner, and he's making me mad.
Yeah, I'm beginning to worry a little bit about Kenneth Walker. He has been less than great the last couple of weeks. Also, Charbonnet is starting to emerge, getting some touches there. But dang it, you're starting Pollard for sure. Okay.
I'm going Conner and Pollard.
Yeah, Conner and Pollard for me. Timmy, if you could tell us who your flex options are.
Who do you have in the flex right now? If it wouldn't be Kenneth Walker.
Yeah, tell us that. Because I mean, maybe you roll
Patriots
all
with
three.
another field goal. Chat. Hold on, it's 7-6 now. We
Good
got some
God.
excitement brewing.
Good God. Brooks over on YouTube. Kenneth Walker or Christian Kirk at the flex? I'm going to go Christian Kirk there at the flex. He's their leading receiver. Like I said, the 49ers defense, for whatever reason, has not been as vaunted as last season. Now they are coming off a bye, so rested and rejuvenated. But I'll go Christian Kirk there.
I'm gonna go. Hold on. I'm just looking at the matchups here. They're playing the Commanders. I'm gonna go Kenneth Walker. I'll go Kenneth Walker there. So now you got a decision to make. Who you listening to, huh? Who you listening to?
Timmy.
Timmy, I'm gonna start Walker in your flex if that's who you have. Cooks and Meyer.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah.
You're starting him. Yeah.
You're starting all 3 of those guys.
Yeah, I mean, I think between the 3 of them, I think 2 of those 3 figure to get something. Any sacks today for Chase Young? Yeah, that's a great question. Of course, Chase Young acquired at the deadline from the Washington Commanders, reunited with his Ohio State teammate there, Bosa.
Bosa.
Does he get a sack today? Sure. Put me down. If that's a prop bet, put me down. Put me down for a anytime Chase Young sack. Okay, once again, if you got questions, feel free to fire away, but let's go through these here. Texans, Bengals in Cincinnati. I'll go with the Bengals here. If Jamar Chase wasn't going to play, then maybe I would go Houston, but I think it's going to be the Bengals.
Upset alert! Upset alert! Texans.
Spoken like a true Browns fan. I love it. I love it. Saints.
I have more faith than he does in his team. Jeez.
Saints Vikings in Minnesota. The Vikings are 1-3 at home, and the Saints are a road dog. They're a road favorite. Excuse me. They're 3-point favorites over the Minnesota Vikings. Justin Jefferson is not going to play. But he's certainly trending in the right direction. He'll be back next week. Give me the Saints.
They're in a dome.
Yep.
So I'll go Saints because Carr shouldn't be complete ass. So
Yeah.
I'll go Saints.
Yeah, JH, the Saints offense is very, very, it's not sexy to say the least. Although Rashee Rice could be a nice sleeper pick for you today. Packers, Steelers. Blech.
Man, these matchups are terrible.
Yeah, this is a gross slate here. I'll take the Steelers, I guess, at home.
I'm taking the Packers.
Okay.
They're both terrible. I don't know who to take there.
Okay. Titans, Bucks. I think this game has a chance to be really a sneaky fantasy bonanza game. By the way, getting back to quarterback streamers, if you're looking to stream a quarterback, which I'm having to do this week, Baker Mayfield. He came through for me last week, 20-plus points. I think he has a chance to do that again this week. Give me the Bucks at home.
Titans secondary is not good. Deshaun Watson went off against them, so that tells you everything you need to know. I am going to go with the Bucks as well because they're going to come back and win this game for Baker after they screwed him when he threw a dot with 46 seconds last week. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Will Levis, by the way, could be an interesting quarterback streaming option. The Titans are 0-4 on the road this season. 49ers are on the road, and they're a favorite in Jacksonville against the Jags. The Jags are 6-2. That's kind of a sneaky record for them. Niners are 5-3. The Niners aren't going to lose 4 in a row. They're just not.
The Niners are going to lose 4 in a row.
No.
Jags.
Okay. All right. Browns, Ravens. You're taking the Browns. I'll take the Ravens.
Yo, whoa, hold on. Why is every time we get to the Browns game, it's always just you're taking the Browns and we just move on. We don't talk about anything. No.
One thing I do want to know, I want to see, can Deshaun Watson put together a credible fantasy performance in back-to-back weeks, most especially against the Ravens in Baltimore? That's what I'm looking for today.
That's honestly, he hit the nail on the head. All Browns fans are watching. He knows it too. He's got to play well this week because we gotta beat the Ravens. So he's got to play well this week.
Brooks, one more question over on YouTube. Kenneth Walker or Christian Kirk at the flex? I think we said Kirk. We talked about that one? Okay, that's my fault.
Yeah.
Hi, Chronic
I said
fan.
Walker, he said Kirk.
Hi, Chronic fan. Thanks for being a sub, man. How are you? Good to see you. Okay, now, Falcons, Cardinals in Arizona. The Falcons embarrassed when Joshua Dobbs basically pulled a Madden. He grabbed the controller, had no idea what the playbook was, ran the coach suggested plays, and beat them last week in their home place. So now they take on Kyler Murray and the Cardinals in Arizona. Falcons are only 1-3 on the road, but the Cardinals are 1-8 overall. I guess I'll take the Falcons.
Man, Dobbs didn't even know half the players on offense their names last week, so that's impressive.
Crazy.
I'm gonna go. I hate saying this because it goes against. I have a bet with Dane that the Falcons don't win more than 8 games.
Okay.
So this is gonna suck for me, but I think the Falcons win.
Well, just because they win today doesn't mean they're going to get 3 more.
Yeah, I know.
Not with Arthur Smith as their head coach, so I still think you're sitting pretty. Lions coming off a bye in Los Angeles taking on the Chargers. Jared Goff, in his last 4 games coming off a bye, he has not thrown a touchdown. That's just a weird...
What?
Yeah, it's weird. It's
that
weird.
is a weird stat.
I think he throws a touchdown today. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown has a big game. Also, we should mention, and I did a poor job of hosting by me, David Montgomery is back for the Lions. What does that mean?
Gibbs owners.
Yeah, what does that mean for Jahmyr Gibbs? What does that mean for David Montgomery managers? If you got him, you're starting him. But I think you're going to go back to what they saw at the beginning of the season. They don't trust Jahmyr Gibbs to be a 20 to 25 touch a game kind of guy. So he's going to be the primary pass catcher out of the backfield, change of pace guy. But if you have him, you're starting him, and that includes David Montgomery. I'll take the Lions on the road in Los Angeles.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take the Lions as well. Man, I don't know, man. You just said that Jared Goff stat. Now it's got me scared. No, there's just no way he doesn't throw a touchdown against that secondary. Yeah, I got to go Lions.
Has to be. Okay, let's see. So we're both going with a road favorite. The Lions are a 3-point favorite on the road. Giants, Cowboys. My God, sir. The Cowboys are 17.5-point favorites. The Giants are without Daniel Jones for the rest of the season. It's going to be Tommy DeVito. A New Jersey boy. We wish him all the luck in the world, but there's no way the Cowboys lose at home to the Giants.
Yeah, I'm actually not starting Dak because I think it's going to be a blowout. To the point where, they're not even.
Who are you starting?
I'm starting Brock Purdy.
Ooh.
I don't know, man. I don't know who to start. I feel like the Cowboys are going to blow them out, and then they're not going to be playing. That's my.
Okay.
That's my.
All right, chat. Tell me if you agree with me here. I think Derek's getting a little too cute there. Just a little. I see his line of thinking. I see his logic, and it's somewhat sound, but I think he's getting too cute there. What do you think?
What are we thinking, chat? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know.
Yeah, Jody says you got to start Dak for the love of God.
Dak's been going off.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I realize.
Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it. Okay. So go with Dak. Go with Dak. Let's see. Who's to start? Brock Purdy against the Jaguars on the road. You got to go Dak. Got to go Dak.
I mean, so listen, hold on. The Jags defense against quarterbacks and their secondary, they're like one of the bottom 7 pass defenses in the league.
Yeah. Okay. But
All right.
Start Dak.
All right.
Don't get crazy.
All right.
Commanders, Seahawks in Seattle. I'll take the Seahawks at home. If you have Seahawk pass catchers, Lockett, Metcalf, JSN, put them into your lineup. The Commanders cannot stop the pass. They cannot stop the pass. So put those dudes in your lineup. If you got them, give me the Seahawks at home.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Seahawks as well. They need this win now after last week, so I think they're gonna handle business.
Yeah. And then the Sunday night game, for the love of God, why? Why are the Jets on my TV in prime time nationally?
Not like Monday night's any better. Holy.
They're taking on the Raiders in Las Vegas. I'm going to be interested to see what the Raiders look like. They look like a totally different team against,
they did.
Under Antonio Pierce. They clearly hated Josh McDaniels and couldn't wait for him to get out of the building. I also want to see what Josh Jacobs looks like. They made a concerted effort to feed him the rock and run the ball as a team.
I need more of that.
I'm with you there. This is basically a pick'em game.
Yeah, honestly.
However, the Jets are 1-point favorite. The Raiders, they're going with the rookie McConnell. I think I might go Jets
McConnell
here.
was balling. I'm gonna go Raiders.
Okay.
I'm gonna go Raiders, and it's because they really did play with like just a different energy that we haven't seen all year.
Yeah,
and they
for
didn't
sure.
kind of went off last week. So to go with Josh Jacobs there and him getting the ball, I'm gonna go Raiders.
Okay. It's 10-6 Indianapolis. Thank you, Weather Spotter. Appreciate that. Thank you for
51-yard field goal from Matt Gay.
Hey, that's awesome.
We're showing off that we got guys that can kick too. Okay,
Yes.
we're showing that off over there.
Hey, maybe
You best believe it.
maybe the German fans and the Bundesliga fans, they appreciate all the field goals. Okay, last game of the week. It's Broncos Bills on Monday night in Buffalo. I don't think there's any way that the Broncos go into Buffalo and beat the Bills. Bills are a 7-point favorite.
no.
I think we both agree with that, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna go Bills on that for
Okay.
sure.
All right, everyone, that's going to do it. Appreciate you guys. Have a great NFL Sunday. It's Week 10. We'll be back next week, Week 11, right here, right there on YouTube. or
Brooks, I
over
would
there.
start Lockett over Johnson. Yes,
What do we got?
he said Deontay Johnson or Lockett.
Ooh. Let me see about that. That's
There we go.
That's a really good one. That's actually a great one. And I think if you're going between the two, I don't think there's a wrong choice unless you got some other options that we're not aware of. But Deontay Johnson has been kind of a target monster since he's come back. And dang, part of me wants to say Deontay Johnson. Let me see the rankings here.
See,
And Deontay Johnson being a target monster, that's one of the reasons that George Pickens is feeling, in his
Commanders give up a ton of pass yards, so that's why I'm going Lockett for this one.
That's true. You bring up an excellent point here. Let me see here.
I mean, Steelers are playing the Packers. Oh yeah, I'm definitely going Lockett because Jair Alexander is going to be on Johnson.
Yeah. Yep. For some reason, I've got take 6 going right here. There we go. Okay, yeah, I think you're right. I think if you got Lockett, you got to go Deontay Johnson. I'm sorry, if you have Lockett, you have to go Lockett. Okay? Over Johnson.
Deontay Johnson with Jair Alexander on him might not be a good time.
William, thanks for joining us. Brooks, thank you for joining us. Jody, everyone, have a great NFL Sunday. JH, thanks for being a sub. Weather, Chronic Fan, thank you for being a sub. Timmy Turner, all of you guys. Have a great one, and I will
Does
see.
the Houston quarterback pass for over 300? Timmy keeps asking.
Does
CJ Stroud for over 300 yards today against the Bengals?
I'd love to know what his over-under is. Let's check that out. Let's check out what CJ Stroud's over-under is.
Right now. Well, Timmy might already know it since he's asking that.
Yeah.
Timmy might already know it, but I'm going to look right now. So we've got the over-under.
Over-under is at 253.
Yep, 253. Oh, hold on. Whoa. Why is yours 276?
276?
What?
Man. I would take
What
the
are
I
you
would take the
playing
under
on?
if you're getting that line. If that's your prop, if that's what it's set at, if that's your over-under, I'm taking the under.
No, you're looking at Joe Burrow, aren't you? His is 272.
Because
You got to be looking at Burrow.
oh,
CJ Stroud is
with
253.
he's saying with running and passing.
Well, I don't know. I wouldn't even take that, honestly.
I don't
if
think
that's
I'd take
me.
it. I'd
Yeah.
look elsewhere, Timmy. Kenneth, thank you
That's-
for being a sub too, my man.
That's 24 rush yards to go with his. Yeah, no, I'm not even.
I'm staying away from that. I'm staying away from that. Yeah, that's a very good tough one. Oof.
He might be able to go for over. I think I would go with the over on 253 though for passing yards. I think
Yeah.
I would go with that.
Okay.
We'll see.
All right, everyone, that's going to do it. Have a great one. Have a great Sunday, and we'll see you next week. Also, see you throughout the week. You can follow Derek here on Twitch at twitch.tv/yourboycle. Go to his streams, sub his channel, the whole thing. I'll see you guys.
Oh. Later, guys. Have a great one, everybody. Jair out.